Hey guys, it's Melanie Hinds. It's your fastest IRAQI DINAR somewhere on the net. I'm doing this because I have a 1 o'clock appointment and then I have a 2 o'clock membership live stream, and then we'll be live at 5 if you want to help us know how to manifest this IRAQI DINAR wealth transfer. Guys, there were 24 articles this morning. I already woke up tired, but the first one was IRAQI DINAR future predictions during the Trump administrations. That was an article from 7 months ago that we went over. They've actually done a lot of these things, and I gave my insights as a former auditor with Price Waterhouse who used to audit big global entities. Iraq and Kurdistan moves closer to agreement on oil exports. We're all praying that they start flowing that oil so the money can start flowing. The UN is optimistic on resolving Erbil and Baghdad disputes. The UN is in there. They're optimistic that they can solve it. But guys, this could all be a smoke screen. They do not want you to know when this is going to happen. The next one was the USD IQD exchange rates dip in Baghdad, which is where we want them to go. Iraq, after the global coalition between sovereignty and strategic risk. Basically, they're talking about the withdrawal of the troops from Iraq. The first one is slated to be withdrawn in September of this year, and then through September of next year. And we were told this by our intel sources 2 weeks ago. Now you guys, everybody's starting to talk about it, which is great, because guys, we're just on the cutting edge of the breaking news. So please subscribe and tap the bell. The next article, Mufti commends government support for launching the operating budgets for sports federations. They're talking about they're building an Olympic stadium, and so they're trying to bring sports to Iraq, which is something only a first world country does. So we're hoping to see the revaluation soon. Then there was the Ministries of Planning and Environment sign a scientific cooperation document to support energy and reduce emissions. I didn't go into a lot of detail with regard to that one because we hear this all the time. It's everywhere. The next article is the federal court rules that 2 paragraphs in the amendment to the Ministry of Education law are unconstitutional. I read that title. I didn't go into the details because I don't think it's great that they have Ministry of Education laws and that they're fighting about that, but that does not factor into the revaluation, but it's good to know. The next article was a good one. Electronic payment team. The We Reach You campaign includes villages, rural areas, and remote areas. They're targeting everybody that doesn't have access to the financial system. So that was a good article, and that is, again, sign if they're going to the rural areas, this thing is done. It's so done. Mosul dam management. Water storage is good and covers the country's needs completely. Here's a water, in Mosul, they have plenty of water. Because there's a lot of articles we hear, there's a lot of messiness. God said, don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. Take the money and run. Don't worry about these systems that are coming, whether you like them or not, right? The next article, the Ministry of Health announces the creation of electronic platform to track the dispensing of narcotic medications. Also, Sabrina did the timestamps today. Great job. Great job on the timestamps. You can go look at the timestamps for each one of these articles. So the Ministry of Health announced a creation of an electronic platform to track the dispensing of narcotic medications. Everything's going electronic, guys. Get used to it. The next article, the Council of Ministers held its regular session chaired by Al-Sudani. That was obviously a good article. They were just letting you know they were in session. Next, oil prices fall as markets await peace efforts in Ukraine. They fell to $63.15 per barrel as far as global Brent crude futures, and 66.32 cents per barrel U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude. That is a good sign, guys. The next one, we love the banking articles. Rafidian Bank announces the commencement of dispersing semi-annual interest to holders of national bonds. Another article today about them giving, paying for the bonds. That means their bonds are highly valued. The first time they're making semi-annual payments. This is huge. Again, this is a sign of a good country because in the U.S. we have bonds and they're sold a lot and they're held a lot because we are still the global reserve currency. The next article, the Prime Minister chairs a special meeting to develop the petroleum derivatives industry and its investment mechanisms. Guys, they are cooking on all levels doing all things. And then again, this article was presented again. It was from yesterday. The Central Bank Access to Finance Guide is an important step for financial institutions in the restructuring of the banking sector. Guys, the banking sector has always been restructured in my eyes. That's why they floated that article about K2. If you watch my live stream, you'll understand. I give you insights as I go through the articles because I'm fasted. I'm praying to God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So this was a big article. I did talk about elements of it because I did it in detail yesterday. The next article, Iraq directs $6 billion monthly to cover salaries for 10 million citizens. I went into what that covers. That was a big article. Again, there were a lot of articles today, breaking news out of Iraq. We are the breaking news channel. So please subscribe and tap the bell. And I'm the only one that does the summaries of everybody. The next article was Trading Fuels Iraq's Parallel Dollar Market. We talked about that and I gave my insights today. Guys, yeah, it doesn't have to be completely eliminated for this to revalue. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. The next article, Egypt launches a new trade corridor linking Saudi Arabia and Iraq, which is good for everybody. Also, judiciary, 1.5 billion dinars were recovered for financial fraud. They're catching the fraudsters. They're catching the drug traffickers. They're catching the all sorts of bad activities going on because of these systems. Next article, government communication team launching a major campaign to rehabilitate and install water stations in Basra. Water stations being installed in Basra. So Mosul's good, Basra's good. Guys, they are now acting like a first world country again, and they deserve a new rate. In my opinion, what's your opinion? Do you think they deserve a new rate? Next article, reconstruction for governance selected to recalculate per capita water consumption. Again, they're focused on making sure there's no water problems. The next article, the President of the Republic affirms everyone's commitment to holding elections with transparency and integrity. Guys, we heard from the ground that the November elections coming up are using biometric voting and also hand counts and comparison to make sure their system matches the actual. So guys, it should be a good system, but I'm praying this happens way before that. Next article, national security dismantles two drug networks. Again, they're stable, they're secure, and now the CBI articles we've been following, we can talk about that at 2 for my members. We were talking about those articles because they've said they were going to launch something imminent, and I believe that was the digital dinar because these systems are on the blockchain system. They're the first of its kind. You've never seen a system like this before, but our guys on the ground have seen the systems. It is an AI system, an artificial intelligence system that is working through their financial systems, and it's, you know, it's what you make of it. Right? God is using that system to bring us the wealth transfer, so you don't want to complain about it. This is how God is choosing to bring you the wealth transfer. A lot of prophets have talked about the wealth transfer that's happening during this time, and I think its time is now. Now we go, we're at what everybody else says. We're 7 minutes and 44 seconds in for 24 articles. I don't think that was a bad time limit, and you can always go get more details. So this is Militiaman today. Article, Rafidian Bank confirms our agreement with K2 Integrity, puts Iraq on the map of the global financial system. This is a powerful company. It's a powerful entity. It is assigned to the global financial system that Iraq has done the preparation that she needs to join the international world. And I believe it is not just assigning to do the work. That is they've already done the work. Frank 26, how many times have I said that it's not a secret, the monetary reform plan? Everybody knows what's going on. It's been going on, let's see, for about 1.5 years now. The international world was the first to get wind of it, and then all the articles that were coming out were talking to the things that made no sense. At 1310, they're talking to the Iraqi citizens about the monetary reform, the plan, the documents, the papers, for crying out loud. It's not a secret. We're about to change the value of our currency. There's a lot going on. I agree with you, Frank. There's a lot going on. Mark Z, via PDK, article, Iraq to export oil to Syria. This is important. They are building another pipeline for even more output. They are positioning for an extreme change in revenue. Mark Z, always love your stuff, Mark. Mountain Goat, there are elements in Iraq that do not want the reinstatement to happen, as is in every country, this one included. The reinstatement will totally shut down their funneling of money to Iran once done. Now we can see why the CBI is working so hard to put mechanisms in place to prevent such money laundering. Guys, the whole system is an anti-money laundering system, and all those files of what's been happening in the past were uploaded so the AI could go find the perpetrators and build a case. So these people are being brought to justice very quickly too. That's the other thing that comes with this system. So Frank 26 last night, every day there's been progress in the monetary reform. Every day there's been something about the progress of the monetary reform. I agree with you. Mark Z yesterday, I had some lovely conversations today with IRAQI contracts. They are expecting and hoping for a big announcement today on the HCL gas laws. They are being told to expect a major announcement on that front. There was a major breakthrough. I don't know what it means for a full HCL agreement, but they are looking for some kind of announcement tomorrow. Guys, I brought you the announcement. It was in my summary. So guys, that is the intel. Where was the announcement? Iraq and Kurdistan move closer to an agreement on oil exports. That was the announcement today. So we still wait for it to say they're pumping the oil, I guess. So that's what they do, guys. They put out the articles. It says Iraq and Kurdistan move closer to agreement on oil exports and salaries. That was as of today in the morning in Iraq, 6:29. I'm assuming that's military time, 6:29 a.m. out of Iraq. So let's see what happens at the end of the day. I'll be live again at 5, but I'm also going to be live at 2 for a special membership, a live stream. So if you're a member at any level, you can participate in that. I've been saying I would do more lives just for the members. It should be easier on the mods, and we should have a good time. And if there's any more breaking news, we will cover it then. Now that the summary's done, we move on to what comes next. If it comes at 2, you'll get breaking news. Guys, I love you all. I'll see you later. 11 minutes is perfect.